In this video, I will show you how to do COUNTIFs using Microsoft Excel. I will also show you how to do the same thing using Power BI. In Power BI, you can do it using either measures or calculated columns. Let's look at both the methods. Alright, we have come over to Excel now and let's look at how to do a COUNTIFs. We would like to figure out the unique product categories and a count of the number of rows that we have for each product category. Let's first use the unique formula to get a unique list of items. Now that we have our unique list of items, let's write a COUNTIFs formula, and our criteria range is going to be all the cells in the product category column. And to select our criteria, we can just drag and select all of the items. We have the result of COUNTIFs giving us how many rows we have for each product category. I've come over to Power BI now and I want to show you the difference between measures and calculated columns. So the column header measure is a DAX measure created in Power BI, and if you see the definition, we have written it as count rows, and in brackets we had provided the name of the sheet. You can right click the name of the table and click on add measure, and let's do it once again. We want to count all the rows of this table whose name is sheet 1. So let's provide the name of the table in parentheses. The moment you do that, all the rows of the sheet get counted. However, note that the advantage of a DAX measure is that anytime you add a filter to your table, then the DAX measure only considers the filtered table. For instance, let's add the product category in the drill down section, and you'll see that when you filter out the table to show only items for common areas, your DAX measure also updates accordingly. The other advantage of using a DAX measure is that no space is reserved in memory for DAX measures. That's not the case for a calculated column, because for a calculated column you are making a calculation for every single row in your original table. Let's see how we can add a calculated column this time. We can either count the number of categories, or we can also count the number of instances of each and every date in our table. Let's click on new column under table tools to add a new calculated column, and this time what we are going to do is we are going to do a count rows. However, we are not going to do it on the entire table. We want to do it only on a subset of the table. So we'll add a filter function. We want to filter out table 1, which has the name of sheet 1, and we'll use this formula here. Filter out the sheet 1 table with this expression where we use the function earlier to identify every element in the product category column that equals the same product category. So every element in housekeeping is measured against the housekeeping item, and you get a count of the number of instances of each product category, such as housekeeping, transportation, and so on. Let's now go back to our visualization and see the effect of adding the product category to our filtered table. Because each row in our calculated column had the value of 95 for common areas and 95 for gardening and so on, when you add up all those values, you get an incorrect figure for the number of categories. All the results for each row. Essentially, it's adding the result of the COUNTIF operation multiple times, and that's not what we want here. So we can go ahead and delete. So let's summarize what we have learned here. A DAX measure is essentially a virtual measure that gets recomputed based on the filter context that you have applied to your visualization. Because nothing is computed until you add it to your visualization, it saves memory. If you instead want to make a calculation for every single row in your table, then you should use a calculated column instead. Is this video useful? If so, give it a like. For more such videos, do subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification icon so that you get a notification whenever I post a new video. Goodbye and take care.